Hey everyone, my name is Megan and I'm the creator of What's Your Why. I'm so excited that season 2 is launching today. This is something that makes me really happy, so I'm really glad that people watch along. I wanted to start the season off with a really special interview, so I chose a conversation that I had with my friend Hazel, who is, by the way, such a powerhouse, always has been, always will be. I asked her to do this interview with me because I've known her since I've been in secondary school. She was my Irish teacher, and anybody who knew me in secondary school would know I was a bit of a handful to put up with at times. I was a nightmare to begin with. But school then became like a safe space for me, and it's because of people like Hazel that like had their students' best interests at heart. I really respected it in Hazel. You know, you'd walk into her classroom and the first thing she'd say is, "How's everybody doing?" The first thing you'd see is like a quotes wall that had all this inspirational quotes telling you that you're good enough. She had such a positive impact on me then, and she's still having such a positive impact on me now, just by seeing the life she's living. Like, I think we all have something to learn from her journey. One of the main things being like never settle for less than you deserve. So I hope you all enjoy. I know you will because she's such a legend.
So I'm Hazel. I am 32 and I have been living in Australia for the last 2.5 years. Prior to that, I was your Irish teacher. Yeah, I was a teacher for 4 years, and I was teaching in a brilliant school with brilliant students. And then I decided to change and take up the opportunity to go traveling with my best friends. And I've been here since. And I suppose the reason why I feel we connected in particular was over our, I suppose, love and interest in mental health. I learned so much from you, and that's, where it all started from, really, when I wanted to get more involved in that kind of, area in school. So
I always learn so much from you as well. You just always take the time to ask people how they're doing. Those little 3 words had so much impact. I'd love to ask them to you now, like, how are you doing?
I am actually doing very good. Yeah. When I first came to Australia, I suppose it was a big transition. I was leaving everything I knew that was safe at home. I'm really close with my family. I'm a really good group of friends at home. So it was very difficult, like, leaving them. And what I probably would find most difficult in life, I find change quite hard. I always have, the adjustment to change in your life, whether it be a change in job, change in relationships, that kind of stuff. I've always found that part really hard. But I feel as the years have gone on over here, I probably surprised myself how much stronger I've become.
Why did you make that move for yourself?
I made that move because I wasn't happy at home, really. I really wasn't happy in my job. I wasn't really happy with myself, to be honest. I felt when I was at home that everything around me, like all my friends and family and things like that, everything was going all so well for them, and that I was kind of stuck in the one place. I was a bit stuck in a rut. And yeah, I found it very difficult that other people were so happy and that I wasn't. At times that sounds a little bit selfish, but that's honestly how I felt. And with my job as well, I felt that I wasn't really there for the right reasons. I felt that I was teaching Irish, and that wasn't what I wanted to do, to be honest. I think I've said this to you before, that I was more concerned with that you all were happy coming into my classroom and leaving my classroom, rather than the poems and silly stories that I was trying to teach. Didn't feel I was getting meaning from it, and I didn't feel I was giving meaning to your lives either. And I found that very difficult. I found that I was like, what am I here for at all? And that's probably why I focused so much on the mental health kind of side of things, because that gave me a release and a relief from the Irish that I was teaching. At times I felt like, I was standing there at the top of the classroom and I was like, God, I'm really not being honest to myself here. And I wanted to probably give a bit more meaning to my life, that I was trying to help so many other people and that I wasn't really helping myself. So my best friends decided that they wanted to come to Australia, and I really hopped on the bandwagon.
What impact has it had on your life since moving there?
Oh, like phenomenal, beyond belief, really. It has changed my life completely. I'm not as worried about things as I used to be. I felt when I first came over, the first 6 months I was here, I cried. I really miss my family. And I have small nephews as well, and I really miss them. And homesickness is only normal, but yeah, since I've come over, I really feel like I've become more resilient. I've become stronger myself. Nothing phases me as much as it used to at home. I don't worry as much anymore. Probably the job that we're in as well. It's a very carefree life, and we really, like, everyone thinks we're crazy sometimes, the amount of hours that we do and But then it's such a family network. It's a real community spirit, and yeah, I love being part of the group. I've met so many amazing people. We've traveled so much, even within Australia as well. And this is like, I never had any dreams to go to Australia. You know, most of the group that we came with, they all were like, "Oh, I've always wanted to go to Australia." I never did. I never imagined in a million years that I would be over here, let alone be here like 2.5 years later. But yeah, it's the best decision I've probably ever made, 100%.
Even when you're speaking about it, like, you can just see how happy it makes you. But I know you were talking about the first few months you had to be resilient and stuff. Is there anything that those tougher months kind of taught you?
I think the main lesson is that you actually don't realize how strong you are, you know, deep inside, that you almost, like, you kind of play yourself down, or you're like, we're all generally very hard on ourselves. And we don't give ourselves credit for like the little wins that in life. And I think to surround yourself with really good people, that has all helped to make me more resilient. Sometimes people don't let themselves have the bad days. Sometimes, you know, that they think, they think every day is ray of sunshine, you know, that like if they're having a bad day, it's like, oh well, what's wrong with me, or things like that, whereas it's perfectly normal. And even the people who seem the happiest, you know, have bumps in the road or have bad days and things like that. And then sometimes the people who have the most difficult life are the ones who maybe come across, you know, and have such resilience, or have such a positive outlook on life.
I know at the start of the call you were saying like something we have in common is how much we care about mental health. Why is it so important to you?
It's really important to me because I think it's since I was younger. I love helping people. I love like seeing if someone is not feeling themselves, or like needs some help in whatever shape or form it is, like I want to get involved. Like I want to see that they're okay. I could recognize when people were struggling, and also vice versa. I feel like students could recognize when teachers were struggling too. It's as clear as day. And with me, I wear my heart on my sleeve. When I'm happy, I'm brilliant, and when I'm sad, you know all about it. So when I would come in, or when students would come in, it was very obvious who was having a great day and who wasn't. You think you maybe mean nothing to people, you know, that you don't have an impact, and then there's that one person who will change your life, or you will change their life. And like, obviously you're one of those main people who taught me so much, and who got me so involved in all the mental health, because I've seen how your journey has come along. I've seen how much you've come along since the teenager you were when you were in transition year to the beautiful woman that you are right now. I was a percent of like that journey, but I was so glad to have seen you along the way.
When you're speaking about how much you love and want to help people, like, it's just no surprise. Why is helping people important to you?
I went volunteering in South Africa a couple of years ago when I was still in college, and someone said to me, they were like, you have two, and again this is a quote, and they were like, you have two hands, one for helping yourself and one for helping other people. And helping other people helps me make me feel better about myself, simple as.
What do you think are some of the things that have shaped you into the person that you are today?
Well, for sure my family. They, oh God, I don't even want to get like upset talking about them, because when you live away from home and when you talk about your parents or your family or anything, it's like, oh. But yeah, my parents are just like, they always taught me like about you know, being a good person, and you know, morals and beliefs and all those kind of things. And their support to me has what has shaped so much of my life. Like they're there for me no matter what, no questions asked. I have two amazing sisters who are also like my right and my left lung. Like they just do so much for me. They're there for me night, noon and morning, extremely generous with their time. What has shaped me is when I have knocks, that I'm able to get back up.
What are you proudest of yourself for?
I'm most proud of, I'm actually really most proud of the person I am today, because like of all the things that have happened to me, good and bad, they've made me who I am today. Like I'm really happy, like I'm true to myself, I'm, you know, having a great time, I'm doing something I never thought I'd do, and the best is probably only yet to come.
What's your why?
What is my why? To always be kind to people, to treat people as I would like to be treated. I think that's really important. And also, as well as being kind to other people, to be a little bit kinder to myself along the way. That will have such, you know, an impact on my life too. So I think that's my why.